Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, January 30th. Kind of a wild 24-hour period here coming up for the Mid-Atlantic region. Spring-like temperatures this afternoon, reaching near 70 degrees across D.C., perhaps 60 degrees in Philadelphia and New York City. But the real big story will be overnight tonight when a powerful cold front barrels towards the East Coast. It'll bring heavy rain to the Mid-Atlantic region, localized flooding, thunderstorms, strong to damaging wind gusts of 50 miles per hour or so throughout the nighttime hours, especially in the middle part of the night. This front sweeps off the East Coast during the day tomorrow, and temperatures drop slowly during the day from highs in the morning, probably in the low to mid-40s, dropping to the 30s during the afternoon hours. Well, here's a look at the current wind map in the eastern and central part of the U.S. It's not hard to tell where that frontal system is, and you can find this map by Googling wind map. Here is the boundary zone right here in the Ohio Valley. Winds are now coming out of the northwest in the upper part of the Midwest. Tremendous change of weather conditions there. For example, in the last 24 to 36 hours or so, they had heavy rain, 50 degrees, thunderstorms in Madison, Wisconsin. Now it's snowing, and it looks like they could get half a foot of snow in the southern part of Wisconsin over the next 12 hours or so. Still raining near Chicago, but the colder air is pouring in. They should also change over to snow and perhaps have some of their coldest air yet this season over the next couple of days. By Friday, they could hold in the single digits on Friday in the Chicago area, so a tremendous change for the upper part of the Midwest. This front now over the Ohio Valley slowly works its way to the East Coast by the overnight hours, and it will bring in heavy rain and thunderstorms into the Mid-Atlantic region, right up and down the I-95 corridor. Anytime from about 7, 8 p.m. to about 2, 3 a.m. is the time frame for this stormy weather here along the I-95 corridor. Well, here's the latest nationwide radar map from weather4u.com. There's the line associated with that cold front right now. Squall lines up and down from the Ohio Valley down to the Gulf Coast. There certainly can be some severe weather associated with this. Meanwhile, back in the colder air, as I mentioned a moment ago, heavy snow now breaking out in parts of eastern Iowa and southwestern Wisconsin. Still raining just above freezing in the Chicago area. They too will change over to snow as that colder air pours in behind this powerful cold front that is sweeping towards the East Coast as we speak. Well, here's a current look at the surface pressure pattern here in the northeastern part of the country. Winds are flowing parallel to these lines here out of the south or southwest ahead of the front, and out of the north or northeast here behind the front, bringing that colder air. Again, the frontal system is right in this region right now. All this fog that's in the southeastern part of Pennsylvania all the way up through New York City, that'll erode quickly over the next few hours, given this strong south to southwesterly flow of air that will develop. In fact, the winds will increase as the day goes on. I don't have any fear that the warm air will reach the ground here in Philadelphia and New York. I do believe it'll certainly get up to 60 degrees, perhaps higher in the Philadelphia region, 70 or more in the D.C. area, and near 60 degrees in the New York City region. The warmer air will certainly win out this afternoon. It'll be downright spring-like, and even into the early evening hours, it'll feel balmy before those strong showers and thunderstorms work their way to the I-95 corridor. Well, let's take a look at the very latest NAM model run. This is from 12Z today, the North American Mesoscale model run, and this is for the 7 p.m. Eastern Time forecast map here early this evening. And here's that heavy rain band still over the Ohio Valley, now pressing into western part of Pennsylvania and West Virginia. It's taking us a time. The heaviest rain again will be late this evening, right in the middle part of the night, and it's the early hours of the morning. So this is 7 o'clock. Still have a broad south to southwest flow all the way up into New England, and temperatures will be spring-like up and down the East Coast ahead of this front. Well, here's a map for 6 hours later, about 1 o'clock in the morning. By this time, the front is just now coming into the I-95 corridor, still heavy rain falling over the western and central part of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, now working its way into the western part of Virginia, on its way to the I-95 corridor. Here's the forecast map from the 12Z NAM for early tomorrow morning. By this time, the heavy rain is over the Mid-Atlantic region, the I-95 corridor. And one of the factors here about this heavy rainfall, one of the reasons why there very well could be localized flooding in streets and streams, for example. Just below the surface, the ground is still frozen. We had a frigid period for the last several days, up until yesterday. And while the top few inches may have thawed out over the last couple of days, just a few inches below that surface, ground is frozen. So absorption will be quite difficult. Runoff is quite likely with some of this heavy rainfall that is to be expected in the overnight hours. And again, with this heavy rainfall, we have a very good chance of some strong thunderstorms, strong to damaging wind gusts of 50 miles or so. Now, what do I mean by damaging? Well, it certainly can be some limbs knocked down and some isolated, hopefully isolated power outages associated with this strong frontal system that will move through in the overnight hours. Well, one last map to look at. This is for early tomorrow afternoon. By this time, all the precipitation is off the coast. Strong west to northwest flow of air here in the Mid-Atlantic region. And temperatures will probably peak early in the day tomorrow, perhaps in the low to mid-40s, and slowly drop throughout the day, reaching the 30s, maybe even going through the 30s from Philadelphia north and east during the afternoon hours. And it certainly is a cold air mass coming in, back to below normal temperatures for Friday and Saturday. We have a few different disturbances to worry about that could throw some snow shower activity our way over the next few days, right through the upcoming weekend. But more on that after this stormy night passes here. Again, stormy conditions tonight throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. Stay tuned for updates here on the SIweather.com. That's it for now. I'm the SI meteorologist, Paul Dorian.